and thanks for joining us for another edition of Newsline and our first in the month of February. I'm Elizabeth Omori. I'll be standing in for your regular host, Jennifer Igwe. On our lineup today, we have some bizarre cases. Ritual killing is an ugly trend in Nigeria today, particularly among youths who believe it's a fast route to wealth. Many have had their lives gruesomely cut short by this evil. That is completely abominable and uncalled for. Away from movies and bizarre tales, what are the facts missed by misguided youths who are consumed by get-rich-quick without hard work syndrome? Our correspondent has a feature on this. Remember the video trending of a young man who allegedly wanted to kill his mother for money ritual? We have an update and an interesting dimension to the story. We have good news shining from the NYSC, where an initiative by the First Ladies boosting access to good health care and promoting well-being. On our key also, we have highlights from last farewell activities for Nigeria's former head of the interim national government, Chief Ernest Shoneko. It's a loaded package. We have to take the news segment first by Claire Adilabu Abdurazak. Over to you now, Claire.
Thank you, Lacey. And we begin straight away from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, where Nigeria and Ethiopia have resolved to spearhead efforts at achieving sustainable peace, stability and democratic order on the African continent for a prosperous future. Now, this resolution was made at a high-level engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, on the margins of the ongoing African Union Summit in Addis Ababa. Here is State House correspondent Adam Osambo with the report.
During the high-level meeting, President Muhammadu Buhari and the Ethiopian Prime Minister critically analyzed the prevailing situation in Africa, especially the unconstitutional changes of government, which they described as a disastrous wave that has been sweeping recently in parts of the continent. The two leaders are worried that the resurgence of coup d'etats, coupled with the unresolved conflicts and other security challenges, can only undermine efforts at achieving the desired progress on the continent.
This is a situation, a critical situation for Africa, a crossroads that requires leadership, good, solid leadership, and that it was really the responsibility of the big countries on the continent to now step up and provide that leadership for the whole continent. And so they are looking at how to come together, a few countries, to deliver that leadership.
The Ethiopian Prime Minister also used the opportunity to thank President Muhammadu Buhari for Nigeria's support to his country during its trying times recently and efforts at restoring normalcy.
The president really expressed his gratitude and believes that Mr. President's role and support and encouragement have been absolutely crucial to stabilizing the situation here in Ethiopia. The president welcomed the direction in which things are now going and the big effort to unite such a big country. He compares it to Nigeria, the diversity and the size of Ethiopia, and the effort to keep it as one and to deliver real development and prosperity for the people of this country.
Nigeria and Ethiopia, Africa's leading countries demographically, have long-standing and robust bilateral relations spanning decades. Both President Muhammadu Buhari and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, however, believe that opportunities abound for expansion in critical economic sectors towards enhancing mutual progress and prosperity. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari formally received a comprehensive briefing on the coup attempt to oust President Umaru Sissoco Embalo of Guinea-Bissau, which was aborted by loyal forces. This was when he granted audience to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Guinea-Bissau, Suzy Basosa, who is representing President Umaru Sissoco Embalo at the ongoing AU summit in Ethiopia.
The Foreign Affairs Minister of Guinea-Bissau came to deliver a message from the President of Guinea-Bissau, and essentially to provide Mr. President with the details of what transpired during the attempted coup d'etat. He was shown pictures, the deaths and the destruction that occurred, and sympathized and promised to together with his Chief of Defense Staff and others to look at what Nigeria can do to help to support and stabilize the democratic system in Guinea-Bissau, so they don't go back to the situation they had, in the last 15 years.
Guinea-Bissau's Foreign Minister Suzy Basosa had told President Muhammadu Buhari that the coup planners who attempted to kill President Umaru Sissoco Embalo destroyed the presidential palace with bazookas, as a result of which 11 young people paid the supreme price. The restoration of order, she said, took about 5 hours. From Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And back home here, the presidency has reacted to correct the wrong perceptions contained in the article, "What is Nigeria's Government For?" by Financial Times, UK, on January 31, 2022, by David Pelling. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, notes that the article highlighted rising banditry as proof of such slumber, failed to equally note the security gains made over 2 presidential terms. The statement pointed out that Boko Haram used to administer an area the size of Belgium at inauguration. Now they control no territory. It also cites the first comprehensive plan to deal with decades-old clashes between nomadic herders and sedentary farmers experienced across the width of the Sahel, with the introduction of pilot ranches which are reducing the competition for water and land that drove past tensions. The presidency says banditry grew out of such clashes and criminal gangs took advantage of the instability, flushed with guns that flooded the region following the Western-triggered implosion of Libya. It assured that government will overcome the challenges like others. And as Nigeria begins the search for credible leaders to consolidate on the gains of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, a coalition of youth groups in Akwa Ibom State are pressing on Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to join the 2023 presidential race. The youth insists that the country needs a leader who can continue with lofty programs of President Buhari, particularly those that impact directly on the poor and most vulnerable. Here is Clement Barakwe with the rest of the report.
Carrying placards with different inscriptions, the youth under the aegis of Akwa Ibom Coalition for Osinbajo 2023 took their message of confidence in Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's capacity to lead the country to major roads and streets within Oyo metropolis, while expressing satisfaction with the untiring efforts of President Buhari to lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty. The youth maintained that the country needs committed and well-grounded leaders in 2023 to sustain the gains of the present administration.
His chances are very bright. I mean, he appeals to every demographic group in Nigeria, as it were. He appeals to the youth, to the women.
We want better life for women, our children. We want more.
President Muhammadu Buhari has laid the right foundation, which Professor Yemi Osinbajo, in our opinion, will be able to build based on his capacity.
The rally brought together representatives of youth groups from the 31 local government areas of Akwa Ibom State. In Uyo, Clement Barakwe, NTA News.
And following the success of the Made in Nigeria International Partnership Forum in Paris late last year, a documentary will be showing daily on different television networks in Nigeria starting from Monday, February 7, 2022 and ends on Friday, February 11, 2022, when Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, will transmit on its network at 8 o'clock in the evening. Minister of State Labour and Empowerment Festus Keyamo has raised the bar of advocacy to engage women and youth in different empowerment programs as a means of alleviating poverty and other social problems in the society. The minister adds his voice to the vanguard of gender advocates while distributing empowerment kits to 1,000 beneficiaries of the federal government's scale acquisition program held in Daura. Sunny Basiru was there.
Poverty and unemployment are among the major causes of many social vices in the society, and this prompted the federal government to embrace means of empowering Nigerians, especially women and the teeming youths on different trades, to reduce the problems to the barest minimum. The 1,000 beneficiaries of the empowerment programs went through rigorous training on different trades in Katsina State.
I'm mandated to cater for unemployed Nigerians in all categories.
Emir of Daura, Alhaji Umar Faruk Umar, commended President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration for initiating policies and programs aimed at alleviating poverty and unemployment among Nigerians.
I appreciate the knowledge I acquired during the acquisition skills and the NTA program.
We benefited a lot of knowledge from the computer.
Minister of State, Labour and Employment Festus Keyamo and Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi spoke on the important steps taken by the federal government to address the problems of unemployment in Nigeria.
This is the beginning. We are starting with 1,000 citizens of Katsina State.
I hope they are trained. I hope that they are able to use it. Even if they can't eradicate poverty, let them reduce poverty.
From Daura, Sani Basiru, NTA News.
And the Federal Operations Unit of the Nigeria Customs Service Zone A has intercepted more than 75,000 packs of tramadol with street value of 3 billion naira. Although the owner of the warehouse where the items were seized is at large, the unit was still able to arrest 23 suspects in connection with various infractions. Michael Olaleye will tell us all about it.
The renewed strategies adopted by the Nigeria Customs Service to rid the country of smuggling activities is gradually paying off. This time, 75,492 packs of tramadol were discovered at a warehouse in Monkey Village in Kirikiri area of Lagos. The warehouse has been sealed, but the customs is still on the lookout for the owner. This is in addition to another set of expired drugs separately impounded.
As a matter of fact, from this diclofenac sodium 50 milligram with caffeine 50 milligram has the capacity of treating eight different ailments. But it expired since May 2019. And now, all they needed to do was to just remove the package, rebrand, and extend the lifespan. Then Nigerians will start buying this and be complaining of, hey, this one is wrong with me, this one is wrong with nobody we know.
It has become extremely impossible for the customs to record any seizure without bags of rice. But the tactics employed to conceal 1,000 bags out of the 9,697 seized within 3 weeks beats the imagination of the customs. 1,000 bags were shared and concealed among bags of cement across 10 trailers.
Backpack side, you know, they leave cement around that side. So all they needed to do was to just arrange. When they ferry them in with their motorcycles, they will heap them somewhere. Then they start loading like this.
Other items seized include 195 bales of second-hand clothing, 17 used vehicles and tires. Within this same period, 5 suspects have been given administrative bail out of the 23 arrested, while 18 are still in custody. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, over 22,160 kilograms of illicit substances have been seized in a sting operation conducted in 8 states by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Now, the substances are identified as codeine syrups, methamphetamine, loud, and cannabis sativa, among others, believed to have fueled a lot of criminal activities in parts of the country. 29 suspects were arrested in connection with the crime, including 268 debit cards seized from one of the suspects. NDLEA says it has destroyed 3 hectares of 4 dry season cannabis farms in Igbogiri Forest of Rianwon local government area of Edo State. Now, women and girls who choose to wear the hijab should be allowed without prejudice or fear of bias. This is the rallying point of human rights activists as part of activities to mark the World Hijab Day. Salwa Khalil tells us more.
My name is Hijab and I am a symbol of good behavior that you can impersonate.
This spoken word poetry defines the hijab, but for the Islamic scholars, the hijab goes beyond a piece of clothing.
Truly, the hijab represents everything that we as Nigerians, as a nation, aspire for.
Today, the hijab has become a global mode of dressing, but not without some challenges, especially among Muslim students who choose the hijab. Hence, the need to protect the right of such individuals.
And the way our children, Muslim children who use hijab, are being embarrassed, harassed, intimidated, runs against the spirit of Section 42.
Nigeria allows freedom of religion, so there is free practice of your religious, obligation, and so the girl child has every right as a Muslim girl child to be protected by the religion and by the constitution too.
I call on all parents and our school teachers to ensure that in both words and action, they present their best model to our children to emulate.
The World Hijab Day is a global commemoration, and in Nigeria, there is a bill at the National Assembly calling for legislation on the use of the hijab and has scaled second reading. Despite dissenting voices against the use of hijab, campaigns are still on to foster understanding that hijab is not a choice, but the right of every Muslim woman. Salwa Khalil, NTA News.
All right, time for sports now. And the second half of the finals of the AFCON 2021 is still going on in Cameroon between finalists Senegal and, of course, Egypt. Scores remain 0-0. Now, for more sports updates, let's join Ekuntala Olumide.
Nigeria is on the verge of establishing a University of Sport as the National Institute for Sport is being repositioned for greater heights, intellectual-wise and in terms of structure. The Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, confirmed this during his official visit to the institute and assured stakeholders of government support.
Hopefully, to have a University of Sports, that bill is ready. It's going to go to Mr. President for accent. The NIS will be central.
We also hope to affiliate with renowned institutions all over the world, whereby we can also be running other programs aside the NBT programs.
From the Nigerian Professional Football League, Remo Stars are back on top of the league table after pipping Shooting Stars of Ibadan via a long goal. In one of the round 11 matches played Sunday evening, MFM played goalless with Aqua United, among other results. From Katsina, Awal Aliru reports that Governor Aminu Bello Masari has pledged his support for sporting activities in schools to help students achieve their dreams in academics and sports. The governor appreciated the state contingent that won medals at the Nigeria School Sports Racket Games. In basketball, a brand new basketball team is underway in the country as a 2-day basketball clinic organized by N Youth Sports Academy to elevate young basketball talents came to a close on Sunday in Abuja. The clinic gave intensive training to over 100 junior players hoping to become champions in the future.
For youths like me, it's a very great thing to see.
Met other people who taught me in a way I understood.
In another news, the Lagos State Government and the United States Consulate have unveiled the African Drone Soccer Challenge to help students build their capacity not only in sports but in science.
Use what they've learned here in other education, other careers. So we're using this as a seed to plant inside of the students.
We hope that really ignites the spark with the education ministry to be able to really focus on STEM.
The pace setters, Ijayasin Senior Grammar School, emerged the overall best team. With sports update, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
Now, he is a silent achiever whose accomplishments are visible across all sectors of the economy, but unknown to many until he was appointed head of the interim national government. And for the few months he was at the helm of affairs of the country, late Ernest Shonekan demonstrated that love for one's country should be unapologetically showcased and safeguarded. As his remains were laid to rest in Lagos, reflections were centered on these outstanding qualities in fulfillment of the biblical verse that sweet is the memory of the righteous. Again, we join Michael Olaleye with the rest of the report.
Late Ernest Shonekan lived all his life offering policy direction and guidance to many organizations. Little wonder, he was the shining hope when the country most needed political stability. To acknowledge his strategic role in nationhood, this night of tribute was organized in his honor. Apart from the heavenly renditions and hymns, outpour of emotions reigned, all pointing to the meaningful and impactful life of one man who epitomized success, yet humble.
I can recall vividly that he attended the Council of State meeting of 22nd January 2019 on a wheelchair after his first domestic accident. On a wheelchair, but because of his desire to see Nigeria on the path and trajectory of growth. He also helped at that time, a critical time in 1994, to set up the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, which is going to become one of the most respected institutions in the continent today.
Beyond business, our nation remains grateful to him for the stabilizing role he played at the most trying period in our body politic.
It was a solemn atmosphere at his Lugard residence, where the remains of late Shonekan were laid in state for Nigerians to have a glimpse of a patriot who was equally selfless.
I think he left with his head high, and a noble thing, and he did something for the nation, and ensured the nation at least continued.
Unique hymns further highlighting the heavenly gains of righteousness and upright believers dominated proceeding at the funeral service. The Emeritus Anglican Primate of the Church of Nigeria, Most Reverend Peter Jasper Akinola, told believers not to grieve, but rejoice and give thanks to God, because the late statesman was a shining example before God and the people.
He falls asleep in the Lord, and at the end of time, he will rise again and lead to a new life, a life that has no end.
The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, who led a federal government delegation, described the late Ernest Shonekan as a patriot who lived his life always conscious and motivated by the burden of duty.
Your Excellencies, Ernest Shonekan lives a life lesson for the nation that he leaves behind. What might that be? We would be right to think of Chief Ernest Shonekan as a man of destiny, a man chosen for his time, just as we would also be right to think of Nigeria as a nation of destiny, uniquely positioned to be a rallying point and an inspiration for the entire black race.
A devoted Christian, his remarkable contribution to the vineyard of the Lord, many say will linger. This special rendition by the Cathedral Church as his body was moved to the final place of rest was a parting gift. At the graveside, the atmosphere was charged with various military performances, ranging from ceremonial parade to the 21-gun salute and cannon firing. The dust-to-dust rites was performed by the family amidst feelings of how much it will be greatly missed.
May the Lord bless him.
Even though it was short, about 3 days, he held briefly for that period, that interim national government. It was a sacrifice for the country. And even after then, it's contributed in so many ways. The Economic Summit Group is one of his legacies and all that.
For his courage and selflessness to national call and role as a stabilizing factor at a crucial time in the nation's history, the late Ernest Shonekan will always be remembered. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Indeed, sweet is the memory of the righteous. Now, the remains of late Ahmad Mohammed Wabi III, the late Emir of Jamari, has been laid to rest in Jamari local government area of Bauchi State. Mahmoud Mohammed reports that the late monarch reigned for 52 years.
The sons of Jamari Emirate, joined by friends and sympathizers from all walks of life, are here to pay their last respect to the late monarch.
Allahu Akbar. The government and the people of Bauchi commiserate with you, and we feel the loss of this illustrious father who suffered a long period of recovery and sickness. And as Muslims, we know this is an act of expiation of his sins.
Born in 1938, late Muhammad Ahmad Wabi III assumed the Jamari throne in 1970 as the 9th Emir. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Muhammad, NTA News.
And the remains of senior apostle Chima Ubuagu of Amachara Autonomous Community, Isikwato local government area of Abia State, will be laid to rest on Friday, the 11th of February 2022. A statement from the family indicates that a Christian wake-keep will hold in the deceased residence in Ahiacha, Isikwato local government area of Abia State on Thursday, February 10. Interment follows on Friday, February 11, at his compound at 10 o'clock in the morning. Senior Apostle Chima Ubuagu died on October 27, 2021 at the age of 72. And that ends the news from this end, but you can always follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Twitter handle at NTA News Now. Our Facebook page is NTA Network News, and Instagram, NTA Network, for more updates. Lisbeth will be back in just a moment, and don't forget to always join us to fight rape and rapists.
This isn't a fight, alright? It's more like a battle. So you gotta come through from the jump. Show them you have too much heart to get bypassed. Because you and I both know, nobody's playing in these streets. See, if you hold back, you lose. If you get cold feet, you freeze. That leaves only one way to go, really. And that's hard. So show up, show out, show yourself. Battle for your dream. Only the best will make it at the Globe Battle of the Year Nigeria. Don't miss the search for Nigeria's most creative dance talents.
I am more than just an idea. I am alive, connected. I am part of an ecosystem, creating connections within an interactive and sustainable city. I am intentional about excellence, integrity, and efficiency. I am invested in building a sustainable future. I am committed committed to strategic partnerships and collaborations. I can be tough, and I can be tender. I take pride in delivering high standards. While there may be others, I am in a league of my own. I am more than just an idea. I am beloved. Who are you?
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. Eat the farm, say you sabi. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
At the heart of your waking up and going out is your desire to succeed. This keeps you awake, running through your mind, even when bathing. At Bedmate, we understand and remain your partners in providing you durable furniture that helps you work better and introduces you as a person of good taste. That's why from 13 January to 20 February 2022, you can own items in a Sophia Office series at incredible discounts of 20% off with amazing gifts too. Hurry now to our showrooms to enjoy this limited offer like many others needing high-performance work tools to success.
If I buy this bully, now trekking be my portion. Wait, people like say they happen for them. Almost level. No darling, after all of us now visitor. Oh boy, now me the one place with 7 times a woof. Bros don't get 5 times a woof. And this I don't collect 6 times a woof. This one now, woof everywhere you go.
Whether you be new or old MTN customer, turn up a woof with the boss spray everywhere you go.
Bobby, make una show.
Welcome back. The recent video making the rounds on social media of a 29-year-old who stabbed his mother severally in Owerri for alleged Mali ritual has continued to generate reactions from Nigerians. What is most intriguing, however, is a twist in the online story as narrated by a family member. Let's now join Lorita Arinze Egwim as she brings us the details.
You see and talk since many people they talk to him. He failed his mission. That is what happened to him.
Nigerians were stunned when this video of a young man said to have stabbed his mother in an attempt to allegedly use her for money ritual hit the social media.
I thank you, Lord Jesus, for rescuing me. I thank you, Super Rebel, for rescuing me.
In search of the facts of the matter, which has continued to elicit reactions from Nigerians, NTA News visited the scene of the incident. This is the exact room where it all happened. Although the broken windows through which the suspect was said to have attempted to throw his mother has been replaced, the bloodstains, now dried up, are still there. The smart television set and the fruits alleged to have been brought by the mother are still littered on the floor. This flower pot and red cap, according to the family members, were portrayed on the social media as alleged objects for rituals. While social media account holds that the attack was that of a son attempting to use his mother for money ritual, a relation of the victim says the incident was grossly misrepresented.
Mr. Jachuku Mbachu is a God-fearing man, very decent guy, very quiet guy, and lovable.
It's just a spiritual manipulation. This is not a ritual case. I must tell you the truth, and I can, swear with my life. If it's rituals, the guy wouldn't have stabbed himself and also stabbed the mom, because he was stabbing himself more than 8 times, stabbed the mom the same number of times.
The suspect, 29-year-old Jachukwu Mbachu, is a graduate of medical lab science from the Imo State University awaiting internship. His mother and victim of the incident, Edith Mbachu, is a pharmacist at the Federal Polytechnic Nekede Owerri. An attempt to reach her for her own side of the story proved abortive as she was still in hospital receiving treatment. While the accounts of the family and information trending on the social media vary, we sought to reach out to the Imo State Police Command for further clarifications.
So the victim happens to be, according to the family, that he is mentally retarded. And that was what actually happened. That he stays alone. The mother bought some fruit and took the fruit to him. Unfortunately, he went wild and attacked the mother. I'm telling you what exactly happened. That's social media, they can say anything. But we, the police, supposed to be contacted.
Horrible and desperate quest for evil money is alarming. Youth, don't forget that such acts attract their consequences. Some call it blood money, especially when it involves the use of human parts of those brutally murdered, while others have claimed they only used charms in a bid to become rich. What is the fact about the evil practice of money-making rituals, which some youths between the ages of 15 and 35 are allegedly embracing in their quest, for instance, wealth? Yemi Dalimo leads us to Abeokuta, Ogun State, where a fresh case involving a teenager who allegedly chopped off his girlfriend's head for money ritual occurred.
In many African traditions, hard work is valued and regarded as a genuine way of making money, as against the superstitious beliefs that there are demons somewhere that brings money after carrying out some violent ritual killings. Those who engage in money rituals hinge their conviction on the fact that hard work does not factor into success, and so they resulted in making use of magical powers to conjure money out of the body parts of their victims, which many describe as mere imagination. On Saturday, January 29, Ogun State Police Command arrested an 18-year-old boy alongside other 3 boys at Okearegba for chopping off his girlfriend's head for money ritual. He was assisted by his friends in carrying out the evil act before the police caught them while allegedly burning the head of the deceased in a local port.
Her boyfriend strangulated her to death, after which I used cutlass to sever the head from her body, and we later packed her remains in a sack. We only needed her head.
Also, many believe that Nollywood films and occult themes and scenes of blood money and sacrifices heighten their beliefs in the efficacy of money rituals. However, Ogun State Governor of Theatre Arts and Motion Pictures Association of Nigeria, Tampan, Owolabi Ajasa, says such scenes are manipulated to show the repercussions of money rituals to their audience so as to dissuade them from practicing it.
We are doing our movie to let people learn from it, to let people understand that this thing is not good for you to do it, and if you do it, this is going to be your end.
There's no deity in Yoruba land that will ever ask for any human part for a ritual.
It's from selfish reason, it's from personal ego that they do it. And so the Yorubas will say it doesn't last for long. The Yorubas believe in hard work.
Admitting rising cases of gruesome killings of innocent citizens for money rituals, Ogun State Police Command says it will continue to arrest and prosecute anyone found culpable of the crime to serve as deterrent to others.
We have many of them that are undergoing judicial trial now. Some are still in our custody. We are investigating them. And as soon as investigation is concluded, they will have their days in court.
In his response to the claims by the chairman of EFCC that Ogun State tops the list of the Yahoo Yahoo boys, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has inaugurated the State Joint Security Outfit codenamed OP Mesa to declare war on kidnappers, killings for money rituals, and fraudsters, popularly referred to as Yahoo Yahoo boys in the states.
We're going to fish them out, we'll smoke them out, we'll arrest them, and we'll hand them over to the swift hand of justice.
I think it's time to create awareness on the devilish and evil, highlighting consequences of this get-rich-quick syndrome. And parents, you need to pay attention to your children, know who they're hanging out and know where they go. Very important. The agony experienced over the last 2 weeks has now turned to happiness for Jibril Sadi Matu, the 11-year-old student of El Kanemi College of Islamic Theology, Maiduguri, who narrowly escaped murder due to school bullying, has been discharged from the hospital following remarkable improvement in his health status. Yagumsu Bokar has an update.
A joyous moment at the amenity ward of University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, having seen Jibril Sadi Matu, who was rushed into the hospital 2 weeks ago in a pool of his own blood, now back on his feet, walking out of the health institution.
He has been highly traumatized. It's not only him, of course, we have been traumatized as well. But for now, I think we should try to seek for an alternative option, because we don't want him to have still the impression that, that environment where that thing occurred to him. I will seek for justice for my son. Whoever who did this to him, he should be brought to book.
I'm feeling good and normal.
Are you going back to school?
Yes, I'll go back.
Shortly before his departure from the hospital, Borno State Ministry of Education presented gifts to Jibril out of joy.
If you look at the degree of laceration, for this boy to be able to recover within 2 weeks and go back to his normal state is indeed a fine feat on the part of our doctors.
I'm much happy he's been discharged from the amenity section. May Allah continue to relieve him of what has been with him for now.
It was an exceptional scenario at the El Kanemi College of Islamic Theology, Maiduguri, as Jibril was given a rousing welcome amidst jubilation from staff and students. Being reunited with his friends once again was entirely display of an emotional feeling.
I'm happy seeing Jibril back to the school.
I feel that he will not come back again and sit with us. When Jibril left the school, I was saying the thing like it was a dream.
Time that the thing happened, I don't even want to see him.
Even if he is not going back to this same school for now, certainly Jibril will further his academic pursuit elsewhere.
This is good news indeed, and good to know that Jibril is back. Let's amplify the campaign against bullying. Now, to an update on the case of alleged rape and death of an internally displaced teenager by a humanitarian worker in Maiduguri. The autopsy and gynae examination reports have been released to the police, while concerned citizens are screaming justice for the deceased victim. Over now to Pauline Kuje for the updates.
It could be recalled that a teenage girl, Aisha Umar, known as Auntie Hajja, who engages in domestic work for pay, was allegedly raped by one Huzaifa Abdurrauf, which eventually led to her death.
Autopsy have been carried out. Other relevant tests that are mandatory for cases like this, particularly when it involves rapes, have been done.
We have gotten the results of the autopsy. The investigation, is a series of processes. It is still ongoing. There are certain things we have been looking for. At the end of the day, we are going to compile everything and then send it to DPP. After they might look at it, they will now pass their verdicts, and at the end of the day, it will be taken to court for prosecution.
Though the body of the teenage girl has since been buried, government and other concerned citizens are calling on authorities concerned to thoroughly investigate the case.
At the end of it all, I'm sure justice will be done because this is a government that is gender sensitive. This is a government that is after the interests of the girl child.
The one thing I want to say is justice must be done to the poor girl. And I'm happy the way the government and then the police are handling the issue.
In case if anybody has any information that it has not gone to the knowledge of us and the police, please they should avail us with that information.
The memories of Auntie Hajja's death will forever linger in the minds of her family as her uncle, whom she died in his presence, narrates her confessional words. That he, Huzaifa, had taken away her virginity and stabbed her. Meanwhile, Borno State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Zuwaira Gambo, has sent cash support to the family of the deceased.
We are following the case. Justice must be delivered. And like you know, at the NTA, we have zero tolerance for rape. Sexual exploitation can happen to both gender. But when such atrocity is committed by people who are meant to be shining example in society, especially spiritual leaders, then it's baffling and worrisome. In Ido-Osun, Osun State, there are allegations against a prophet who allegedly sexually exploits vulnerable ladies and women in his church under the guise of spiritual cleansing. Femi Afariogun takes it up from here.
I met Prophet Adeyemi on the road on my way going to my house, and he stopped me, tell me I have vision, and he told me the vision, and he asked me to come to church to come and do the necessary thing. I started going to his church, and the next thing I will see, I'm starting having affairs with him. See, I'm pregnant for him. Later, he aborted the pregnancy for me.
Touching story of a mother of two who lost a marriage after falling prey to one prophet Adeyemi Adeniran in 2019, whom she alleged sexually exploited her under the guise of spiritual cleansing in a church in the Ido-Osun community, about 10 minutes drive from Osogbo, the Osun state capital. Her story prompted some vulnerable young girls who are alleged to be victims of same circumstance.
The man now opens his mouth and brings his tongue out. I say, what, sir? She want to give me power. I say, power of what, sir? Say, just want to power me so that all the evil I will not say. I say, I'm not here for evil. The man now say, come closer. He now drag me. He say, no, he just want to give me power. I say, we drag him. Stop. He later stop. So I went out.
Travelers travel.
My mother took me to his church to pray concerning my traveling out. He raped me several times and later slept with two of us, promising that he will fortify us against evil spirits. He forced himself on me and later claimed it was a mistake.
He
threatened me that if I ever tell anybody, I will die. Please, nothing evil must happen to my daughter.
50 years
During a visit to Great Tabernacle Miracle Church of God, also known as Mountain of Change, where the prophet is alleged to have committed the atrocities, the prophet declined comment on camera. Both the traditional ruler of Ido-Osun and community members have expressed doubt over the genuineness of the spirituality of the church.
He doesn't deserve to be in our community. He can go anywhere else. But it's a sane society. You've been here for millennium, and he's not just going to come here and destabilize us in our community.
To maintain the sanity of our town and our kingdom, we do not want a personality of such Adeyemi or one thing. We don't want that kind of church here. Video call. Why don't video call?
I had a fight with my wife, and instead of settling the dispute, the prophet called my wife and was trying to woo her to marry him.
Upon petition by some concerned citizens in seeking justice for the vulnerable victims over sexual exploitation, NAPTIP Zonal Office, Oshogbo, took up the case.
The prophet you are referring to was found to be what he did was in an infraction on our own act. We came in, investigated the matter. We arrested him.
Meanwhile, Prophet Adeyemi Adeniran, also known as Lesekese, has already been arraigned before a federal high court in Oshogbo by NAPTIP on 12 counts charge, but granted administrative bail, having pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Strong allegations. We are following the story. Nigerian clerics are consistently being recognized globally either by way of appointment or outstanding endeavors, thereby making the country proud. They help in flying higher the green, white, green colors and the nation's robust foreign policy geared towards deepening diplomatic ties with the developed and developing nations. For more advancement, Talatu Izeriki compiled some of the outstanding achievements recorded so far.
It is pure joy and honor for countries to have their national anthem sung outside their domain. Here, Nigeria's green, white, green flag was flown high at the Red Sea in faraway Israel when some Nigerians performed the pilgrimage exercise. Spiritual relations date back to ages, for which many Nigerian clerics are being recognized or appointed for international assignments. As a tradition in the Catholic Church, the Pope alone appoints bishops or persons on special assignments and also creates cardinals. In this regard, Nigeria has been blessed with 4. Among them is the late Dominic Cardinal Ekadem of blessed memory. Into your sanctuary, we've come to adore you, Lord. Going by the records, the papacy has appointed many Nigerian priests for global assignments. From 1984 to 2002, Francis Cardinal Arinze held the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue Vatican.
John Paul II, during his visit to Abuja in 1998, called the Muslim community together at a meeting at the Nunciature. And he said to them, I enjoin you, dear Muslims of Nigeria, to work closely with Cardinal Arinze, who is a Nigerian. I appointed him in charge of interreligious dialogue all over the world. He's working with Muslims all over the world to bring about understanding and peace.
And from 2013 to date, John Cardinal Onayekon serves at the Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith and the Congregation for Divine Worship and the Discipline of the Sacraments. Similarly, Most Reverend Matthew Kuka was appointed in the year 2020 to hold the dicastery for the promotion of human integral development for an initial period of 5 years. In the list of appointments is Archbishop Fortunatus Uwanchukwu. He serves as permanent observer to the United Nations.
Recently, the Pope has also appointed another Nigerian bishop, Bishop Emmanuel Badejo, to be a member of a dicastery. The dicastery in charge of communications, to help him foster communications not only for Africa but also for the whole world.
There are others, especially in the Anglican Communion, talking about Nigerian Archbishop Josiah Idowu Ferron, who is doing Nigeria proud as Secretary General of the Anglican Consultative Council.
He's a peacemaker. The movement for peace continues. He advocates for peace in Nigeria.
Also on record that Nigerian clergymen, both in Christianity and Islam, have extended their preachings globally to impact positively on the faiths. Names such as late Abubakar Gumi and late Sheikh Ahmed Lemu of blessed memories, and Sheikh Muhyiddin Ajani Bello readily come to mind.
Allah has given me opportunities of traveling beyond the shores of Nigeria, to London, to Singapore, alhamdulillah, to America, and the like, preaching the message of Islam. Wherever I happen to be, I look Nigerian. So I make sure that I preach the message of unity, but positive unity.
More grace, and they need our prayers. Time to take another break. More reports. See you again.
Say, you don't get eyes. I won't park my car. Take care of your father's car. Parola. I beg no verse. Not too much berekete.
A heavyweight voice and data plan. Get 600 Naira free credits plus 700% bonus on every recharge and up to 100% bonus on data plans.
Does your toothpaste give you complete fresh protection? New Close-Up Toothpaste Complete Fresh Protection takes care of your 5 important oral care needs. It gives you strong teeth, prevents tooth holes, cleans deeply, fights bacteria, and gives you fresh breath. Complete fresh protection from Close-Up.
If I buy this bully, now trekking be my portion. Wait, it be like say they happen for there. Almost level. No darling, after all of us now visitor. Oh boy, now me the one place with 7 times a woof. Bros don't get 5 times a woof. And this I don't collect 6 times a woof. This one now, woof everywhere you go.
Whether you be new or old MTN customer, store up a woof with the boss spray everywhere you go.
Bobby, make una show.
There's a drop of goodness in everyone. Share goodness with someone today.
Malta Guinness. Enjoy a world of good.
My schedule can be tight most days, and because I'm always on the go, I need a quick snack or drink to keep me going. And that's why I love my Hollandia yogurt. Every day I choose Hollandia yogurt because it contains protein, calcium, vitamin A, B vitamins, and vitamin H, which my body needs. Hollandia yogurt comes in 2 variants, plain sweetened and strawberry. Wholesome nourishment from your favorite brand.
You're still watching Newsline. Don't forget you can follow this program on our website, nta.ng/live, on YouTube, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Twitter handle at NTA News Now, our Facebook page, NTA Network News, and Instagram, NTA Network for updates. And out to social initiatives. Intervention at rescuing Nigeria from worsening plastic waste menace gained a boost in Elenenwo community of Obio Akpo community of Rivers State with the unveiling of a plastic waste recycling plant. The gesture is to stimulate cleaner environment, provide jobs and generate wealth. Chidi Ebere Onya reports that the project is a corporate social responsibility of the Total Energies Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited and its joint venture partners.
The plastic industry is an important sector to the Nigerian economy. However, the misuse of plastics and poor management of plastic waste continue to pose grave danger to human health and environment. Managing Director, Total Energies Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited, Mike Sangster, said the project was conceived in 2016 to find sustainable plastic waste management solution for African countries like Nigeria. He noted that the laudable project was achieved in partnership with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and United Nations Institute for Training and Research.
We have a very big polymers business, so we do produce plastic. So as part of moving towards what we call a circular economy, it's good to get involved as well in recycling. So this really hits on our objective to be more and more sustainable.
The issue of environmental pollution is everybody's concern, both the private and the public sector, especially the governments around there and the federal government. And we continue to do our bit to make sure that we begin sort of remediation effort in the Niger Delta.
We are ready to support more of these laudable projects in advancement of the Sustainable Development Goals and anything that will bring reduction of carbon dioxide emissions in the environment.
Minister of State for Environment Sharon Ikazu, who was represented, challenged other private sectors to key into the project to tackle the menace of plastic waste in Nigeria.
We have a national policy on solid waste management. This policy state, embraces the principle of a circular economy. That is, we want to reuse our materials all over again, so that we can reduce the pollution of the environment and then create waste from waste.
Total Energies EP Nigeria Limited says the state-of-the-art recycling plant is capable of recycling over 1,000 tons of plastic waste per annum, representing over 750 tons of carbon dioxide emission saved per year, an equivalent of planting about 4,500 trees annually.
Interesting. More organizations should explore initiatives. Still on initiatives, the Sustainable Development Goals are a signpost commitment to finish what the Millennium Development Goals started and to tackle some of the more pressing challenges facing the world today. What all 17 goals interconnect, meaning success in one precipitates success for others. Goal 3, for instance, targets healthy lives and well-being for all. In line with this, the National Youth Service Corps got another shot in the arm as it received a healthy facility from the First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Buhari. It is a mobile clinic expected to bring adequate preventive healthcare services to members of the scheme and neighboring communities. Olayin Kaujo will tell us more.
Some months ago, there was a signing of a memorandum of understanding between the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) and the National Health Insurance Scheme, aimed at ensuring compulsory enrollment of Youth Corps members in health insurance. The scheme is receiving more health-oriented assistance from a caring hand, an efficient mobile clinic presented to the NYSC by the First Lady, Aisha Buhari. This facility, divided into different units, seeks to bridge the gap between healthcare and accessibility, ensures effective data storage using innovative technology, as well as empowers patients to informed decisions about their health in a holistic manner through physical activity, nutrition, and, in general, a healthier lifestyle. This mobile clinic will also offer flexible and viable options for treating indigent Nigerians.
The content, we have a labor room, we have theater, pharmacies, everything is in that bus. And we're going to use it for service of humanity and made the First Lady proud.
In less than 48 hours, the NYSC took ownership of this mobile clinic. It is already performing one of its functions of rendering healthcare service to corps members.
This morning we had a call for a patient in the NYSC mobile clinic. He's a corps member. He's 26 years old. He presented with fever for 2 days, about 2 days duration. He seems to be intermittent. He's married with some white girls, but he seems to be nauseous, but no vomiting.
One of the first corps member to enjoy this health facility shares his excitement.
I noticed I'm not feeling too good, feeling feverish. But I don't have option that's just to come out. But immediately I got here, and what I saw was this big boss. I was like, where are they taking me? But on getting here, I find out this is a clinic. Well, the service has been really good, and I think if this kind of mobile clinic can be everywhere in this country, we will save more lives.
And as the NYSC prepares for another health initiative for rural dwellers, the facility is expected to complement government's efforts in promoting the well-being of indigent persons at the grassroots through easier access to free and quality healthcare.
Good initiative indeed. It will increase access to healthcare services. Now to our social diary reports. February will remain a memorable month for the family of the Minister of Police Affairs, Muhammadu Maigari Dingyadi. Two of his sons wedded their heartthrobs. Yes, two. Dalhatu Abdullahi reports that President Muhammad Buhari was represented at the wedding, which took place at the seat of the Caliphate.
The two sons of Minister of Police Affairs, Bello Maigari Dingyadi and Rufai Maigari Dingyadi, are starting new life with their heartthrobs. The wedding began with pre-wedding events where the two brides, Safia Suleiman Shinkafi and Nuseba Muhammad Bello, had families and friends gathered to rejoice with them. One of the brides, Safia Suleiman Shinkafi, said she met her husband, Rufai Maigari Dingyadi, on Facebook.
How did you meet him?
Through social media.
When?
4 years back, I think. Yeah, 4 years back.
Sultan Abubakar III Jumaat Mosque, Sokoto, was the venue of the wedding Fatiha, where President Muhammadu Buhari was represented by Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami SAN. The two weddings were solemnized after the payment of 100,000 naira each.
I advise the couple to be good ambassadors of their parents and the larger Muslim community. The ambassadors don't do some marriage by respecting each other.
To respect the institution of the marriage, and they should not allow a third party, that is intermediary, in their marital affairs.
I'm always very grateful to Mr. President. What he has done today is the climax of what I would say a very good thank you to Mr. President. And we are very grateful for the recognition that he has handed to me.
The two grooms were full of happiness and short of words to thank all those who graced the weddings.
We were family friends, brother, sister, and then later on the story changed to something else. So, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, I'm very excited and I'm happy for taking this major step of my life. I pray that Allah makes it a success.
The wedding of Rufai Maigari Dingyadi with Safia Suleiman Shinkafi and Bello Maigari Dingyadi with Nuseba Muhammad Bello will remain a memorable event that took place in February 2022, especially for the families.
Congratulations to the couples. The ancient city of Dara in Katsina State stood still in honor of a man known as the father of modern railway in Nigeria. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Chibuike Amechi, was turbaned as Dan Amana Dara by the Emirate Council. Oinaya Kaluoka reports that a spectacular ceremony was also a day to celebrate his achievements, hard work and commitment towards uniting the country.
It was an impressive show of love as the people of Daura trooped out to the ancient city gates to welcome the Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, and escorted him to the palace for the Tubani ceremony.
Here at the Emir's Palace in Daura, it is a colorful activities with so many presentations from the north, east, west, and south. In fact, it can be described as a melting pot, bringing about unity, peace, and togetherness.
The Emir's Palace was alive from the several posters to the dignitaries from all walks of life. Politicians, traditional rulers, friends, and well-wishers, irrespective of tribe, religion, or status, were at the palace to witness the ceremony. Done with the Tubanin, the Dang Aman and Daura, that is, the trusted son of Daura, paid homage to the emir in acceptance of the title.
We are Muslims, and our religion allows us to respect those who respect us. If I turban anyone, it is not because he gave us money or we want something from that person. We turban people irrespective of their religion or tribe.
The title, Dang Amana Daura, according to the Emirate Council, has not been conferred on anyone for a long time, and this is due to the significance and the burden attached to it. The reforms and infrastructural development in Daura and Nigeria as a whole in the transportation sector by the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, qualified him to be conferred with the title.
You can see that we are one people, and this will be another clear example that it doesn't matter which part of the country you come from, we identify ourselves as one, brothers and sisters.
You can see the caliber of people from all walks of life. You can see the type of person, the friends he has. I mean, he is one of everybody.
It will go a long way in synergizing love between the Southerners and then the Northerners. This is a way of bringing all Nigerians together.
Amechi is deserving of this honor because, one, he's a very hard-working man. He is a detribalized person.
I'm grateful to the Emir and the Emirates, and then I'm also grateful to the President. We'll continue with the railway, improvement on the railway, and ensure that we keep to the promises that we have made. That's what we just do. Then hoping that with the recognition to support us more.
It was a fascinating ceremony that also witnessed the turbaning of Nasrul Halidu Danu as the Tafid and Baban Daura.
Congratulations to the minister. Time now to pay more bills. Newsline will be right back. To stay with us.
You know, everything in life has a recipe.
Really?
Yes, dear. Like the recipe to rule a great empire. The recipe to be the best of the best. The recipe to grow big and thrive. And the recipe to lead the world. Every recipe is about making what you want from what you have.
So, I have the recipe to be whatever I want.
Exactly. You have the recipe. What will you make?
Nestle. Good food, good life.
Big day ahead.
Yummy, yummy, full of nourishment and vitality. Tea bodies and shop Soya. Ovaltine 3 in 1. 3 in 1. Ovaltine 3 in 1.
For your young mama.
New Ovaltine 3 in 1. Smart choice for smart kids.
ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
Black, it's not dark, it's bright. Black is bold. Black is every color, all together. My thing, your thing, our thing mixed together. black shines brightly. Drink it in.
For an event as big as the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, you can't afford to miss out. So where do you go when you want to have a full AFCON 2021 experience? You go where everybody goes. When you're looking for the vibe, you go straight to the source. So if you want to have it all, go all out for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations with GoTV. Catch all 52 must-watch games live on SuperSport on GoTV. GoTV, love it.
Thanks for staying with us. The ancient town of Bida, the home of the Nupes in Niger State, has been classified as a creative city by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. Jones Ajayi takes a look at what this portends for the area, as it is one of the 49 newly classified creative cities in the world.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization Creative Cities Network was established in 2004 to promote cooperation with and among cities that have identified creativity as a strategic factor for sustainable urban development. It is on this premise that Bida in Niger State was declared a member of the UNESCO Creative City Network alongside 48 others. Bida is popular for her Swatamoku brass work, Masaga glass works, Dokoza metrological works, as well as Basa clothes weaving industry, amongst others.
It will also be assisted by UNESCO and member cities with grants, innovations, disability, skill development, institutional support, and investors. And you know what that means. When investors come to the city, they come with so many things. They give employment to our teeming youth.
With the high technology we have, I think to go along to improving and also producing these items in a large quantity we can send to any part of the world. So we're very grateful to UNESCO. We appreciate this sort of recognition, and we're going to work very hard to ensure that we preserve this God-given sort of artifacts.
With this ranking, the Bida Arts and Crafts, which is hitherto strenuous in its production, is likely to be technologically upscaled by the time the partnership with UNESCO commences and its tourism potentials explored and further showcased globally.
We need to market ourselves. Nigeria has a lot to offer the world. The actualization of a shift to fuelless vehicles seems to be within reach for Nigeria. Students of the Federal Polytechnic Nekede, Imo State, have shown this. They have manufactured an electric vehicle. Reina Obasi, who visited the institution, reports that the feat is with assistance from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund.
Some developed countries are already taking steps to end the use of petroleum-driven vehicles as a way of tackling the challenges of climate change. In line with this global trend, the Federal Polytechnic Nekede embarked on a research that has historically produced an indigenous fuelless electric vehicle, which is attracting the attention of Nigerians.
Looking at this vehicle here, you would think that it's made in China, Malaysia, or any of the Asian tiger countries. But it's made here in Federal Polytechnic Nekede, Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria. Ride with me.
Mr. Chinedu Nwosu is the leader of the engineering team behind this invention. He says the success is a product of months of hard work.
Students were here, they were part of this. They took part in the metal cutting. We have a laser cutter there. We use those laser cutters to teach them how those metals are cut. They did them themselves, we placed them. Then the arrangements of the wheels, those shock absorbers and the rest of them, they were there when we raised the tires up, and they were part of the fixing.
The electric vehicle is made with locally sourced materials which are environmentally friendly and can move 55 to 60 kilometers per hour using charged battery.
That everything is just locally made here, from the design, the construction and everything.
I partake in terms of the welding aspect of it.
for the first time in history we are having an electric car in the campus. At least it's kind of a helping hands to the Nigerian student.
I learned a lot of things. Like, it was really good doing it practically. Took part in the welding and metal cutting.
We have the funds today. We do many of these in a very short time. Having done the first one, the other ones will be faster because we already know what to do and how to do it. And I'm hoping that government and other people will key into it.
And it's time to take a last break. When we return, more exploits by Nigerian students. Just stay with us.
That in the last decade, this country has been at different wars trying to keep the peace and promote the sovereignty and the integrity of the country. The troops are doing their best. The president has given them all the necessary tools. It is left for us as young people and as Nigerians to give them all the support we can. We say kudos to all our gallant military men. Please, whenever you see a police officer in or out of uniform, if you know them, clap for them whenever they need be. Give them seats in buses and trains and airplanes. Have the airline managers reduce air tickets for them or train tickets for them. Show them that we appreciate what they do and show their families that there is something right and honorable and truly remarkable about wearing a uniform and going into the bushes and the forest to fight enemies of this country that are hell-bent in bringing your life to an end. It's a very tough time, but we have to all put our hands together. Please support our troops and support our police officers.
Invention, they say, is the mother of technology. This is the story of some graduating students of Mechanical Engineering Department, University of Jos, who manufactured a prototype of a sports car as a final year project. Abba Abubakar Yakubu takes it from here.
A 7-member group of these final year students of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, University of Jos, conceived the idea of manufacturing a sports car when some of them went for their industrial attachment in this factory.
In the period of the internship, they picked it as a challenge to build a car prototype, which we did our best to give them the basic knowledge that they needed.
It was difficult for them to convince their supervisors and parents to accept their proposal of manufacturing a sports car in view of what it takes to achieve it in a developing country.
The students actually do excellently well. And why am I saying this? You know, if you look at textbooks, journals, you cannot find car designs because they are patent to the company. So it's their secret, so they hide it. Now, these students start all from the scratch, using the knowledge that they gain from the classroom.
After 5 months of brainstorming, this prototype sports car was assembled with the support of their mentor, Jerry Malo, their lecturers and supervisors, who assisted them with technical know-how and fund. The project, they say, gave more than 1.5 million naira.
It was when we actually did mechanics, theory of mechanics in elaborate. We did one that had to do with the designs of machine elements, where we did design of the keyways, design of some different things, in particular, especially those in cars, the doors, the hinges, the bolts. So that particular course, it was a 3-unit course. Actually, in that course, we actually took our time to know what was actually happening in that course.
We find it very difficult in bridging the gap between practical and theory. So we just use this opportunity as our final year project to do something nice and explore more in the field. So we went back to where we did our industrial attachment, that was Benny Automobiles, where we got some experience and some exposure.
It's exciting and challenging actually, but with the kind of team members I had, they made it very easy. They accommodated. They never made me feel I was not capable, you know, this kind of, you're a lady and you cannot do. No, they allowed me to bring up my ideas, to be able to contribute.
Of course, it was an achievement and a thing of pride and joy for the student, University Authority, and indeed Plateau State.
I've seen engineers
being produced by the university, who not only know how the mechanics of a car works, they also know how to even manufacture and ensure that all those theoretical things they know, they are putting it into practice. So the University of Jos is quite delighted with this innovation presently going on.
I also enjoyed a ride in this car, as I say bravo to the students.
They are making great impact. They must be encouraged. And just before we go, it is still goalless in the final match of AFCON 2021 in Cameroon between Senegal and Egypt. The second half of the extra time is on. Will it go into penalties, or will any of the teams get a goal? Well, we only have a few minutes to find out. And that's Newsline today. We want to thank you so much for your time. We'll see you next week. Do be nice.